Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of DIY Hair School. My name is Jillian. I am a professional hairstylist, and I am going to teach you how to dye your own hair at home. Today we are going to be talking all about how to bleach your own roots. So I'm going to be doing my own roots today. As you can see, these are my roots. They're not incredibly long. That's because it's only been about 5 weeks since I did them last. I typically do my roots every 4 to 6 weeks, and this is the same as when I do my clients' roots when it comes to a full bleach and tone like I am. It is preferable to not go more than 6 weeks when you are touching up roots for a bleach and tone like this. That is because the hair that is farther away from the head won't lighten as quickly as the hair that's close to the head, and it just becomes a lot more of a complicated process. Or you can end up with orange or yellow bands in the hair and it just won't look as nice. So if you have gotten yourself to a beautiful blonde tone that you love and you're just in the maintenance phase where you need to do your roots, doing them around 4 to 6 weeks is going to give you the best possible results and make your life so much easier than if you waited. So you're going to need a few tools today. Make sure, like I've said before, you always want to be prepared. So gather everything that you're going to need before you start, and then you will be prepared and ready to go and not running around looking for something that you need while your bleach is already processing on your head. First tool that you're going to want to have is a pair of gloves. Make sure the gloves fit you relatively well, that they're not too small so that you can't work really well, or so that they're too big and falling off and you're going to make a mess of your hair if your gloves are falling all over the place. You obviously don't need to worry about your hands getting stained when you're using bleach, but if you get bleach on your fingers, it actually can cause quite a painful chemical burn, and your fingers can turn white and your fingers can get very rough and dry. So just to avoid that, just have a pair of gloves. Next, you have your bowl and your brush. Just a regular size brush is what my preference is for doing bleach. A nice big bowl so you can mix lots of bleach and not run out too quickly. I like a plastic whisk to whisk my bleach. This keeps my brush clean so that I don't have a sloppy application from mixing my bleach up with my brush. And you don't want to use a metal whisk. A metal whisk can cause all kinds of chemical reactions with your bleach, making it not work properly or making it expand really big, or you just don't want to use a metal whisk. If you're going to use a whisk, use a plastic whisk. A tip is that if you mix your color with your brush before you start, to scrape off as much product as you can back into the bowl and then wash your brush before you start to apply to your roots so that your brush is not a mess. Having a clean brush during your process will just make everything much more accurate when you're applying it, and you won't be getting bleach everywhere. Get yourself a whole bunch of clips. I like this type of clip with the teeth and the spring-loaded, but any kind of clip will help. You want to make sure you have more clips than you need. I suggest 4 to 6 clips so that you can get all the hair sectioned and clipped up nicely and neat, and that way you're not messing around during your application time with hair that you're not sure what you've gotten covered and what you haven't. So have lots of clips so that your sections are nice and neat and all of the hair is where it should be during your process. Have a comb. A regular comb or a tail comb, anything that is going to make sectioning your hair nice and easy. Nice clean sections are essential for nice clean application, and clean application is essential to avoid damage when we're working with bleach. I like to use a scale to measure my bleach. This ensures that the ratios are accurate and that the bleach will perform to its best abilities. And of course, you are going to need your bleach. I am today using the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me. It has Bond Enforcer in the bleach, so it helps to keep the hair healthy during the lifting process. And this one is a really strong bleach. It will lift you up to 9 levels. We're only going to be lifting me about 3 to 4 levels today because my natural hair is not that dark, but this is a great bleach if you have really dark hair and you're trying to go light, because it has a lot of power and will lift up to 9 levels in one sitting. And with the bleach today, we are going to be using the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me Premium Oil Formula Developer. We are going to be using a mixture of the 20 volume and the 30 volume developer. I'm going to be using half and half of each. I do suggest when you're bleaching your own hair that you stick with a 20 volume. The 20 volume will get you as light as the 30 volume. The only reason that I mix it with a 30 is just to make it work a little bit faster, but I am very comfortable in my application time. I am very confident in my processing time, and I know how long it will take my hair to get to the shade that I want so that I can avoid damage. Using the 20 volume will mean your hair will process a little bit slower, but it gives you time to watch it and figure out where your hair needs to be, and it's your best bet for avoiding damage. The last tool on my list is saran wrap. All right, so just regular plastic wrap, any brand will do. This I will use once my bleach is all applied. I will be using it to cover up my head so that the bleach does not dry out. You want to make sure that the bleach doesn't dry out, because when bleach dries, it stops working and it will just stay at whatever level that it is lifted to. So before you get started, you want to figure out the level of your natural hair and whatever level of blonde that you are lifting to. If you're not sure what this means, I would suggest that you go back a couple of videos where I explain a little bit more on natural level and desired level. Really what it means, I'm a natural level about a 7, maybe a 6.5 to a 7, and I like to go up to a level 10 blonde. So therefore, I know that I need to make sure that the color that my hair is with the bleach on is a level 10 before I wash it off, because if I wash my hair off and it's only a level 9, it doesn't matter if I use a level 10 toner or whatever I do, my hair will only ever be a level 9. And if I was to only lift my roots today to a level 9 and the rest of my hair is a level 10, my roots are going to look yellow. So that's why you end up with yellow or orange roots when you are doing your own hair at home, is because you just simply didn't lift it enough. So understanding your levels will make your job a lot easier. So head back a couple of videos and check that out, and then you can get started. When I'm bleaching my hair, I do it in 4 quadrants, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So I will simply section from my part down to my ear, take all of that hair and twist it and clip it out of the way. Then I will take my other side, do the same thing, section it with the comb down to my ear, and I will twist it up, clip it out of the way, and then I will simply comb all of that hair back. And I've already brushed through all my hair so I don't have any tangles or knots. So you want to brush it first, because the comb will not be very good at getting out all those knots. So I'm going to just drag my comb right down the center back of my head, split that hair in half, twist, and clip. And then take that last section, twist, and clip, just like. So a great tip is that you don't have to do it yourself. You can get a friend, you can have your friend watch the video with you and learn how to apply to your roots, and then your friend can apply your color for you. This is especially good for the back. It is incredibly difficult to accurately apply color or bleach to the back of your head because you can't see it. Of course, you can use some mirrors, you can rig those up and have that going so that you can see the back of your head, but it's very difficult to maneuver. And even me being a professional hairstylist, I don't do the back of my own head. I can do the front, and I will show you guys today how I do the front, and I'm gonna have a girlfriend apply the color on the back for me. Just to show you that you don't have to be professional to help your friend out. My girlfriend is not a professional hairstylist. She's not a hairstylist at all. I simply taught her how to apply the product to my roots, and she does that for me just because, like I said, you can't see the back of your head. So that's really helpful, having your husband, your friend, your sister, your brother, anybody to apply the color to the back for you. One of the reasons it's so important to have somebody else help you, or to just be really careful yourself, is when you're applying the bleach, you want to make sure that you are not overlapping the old bleached hair. So you really want to make sure that you're only applying the bleach to the new growth. Go right up against the bleached hair, but you don't want to overlap it. That will cause banding so that the color will be different shades. Where the color overlaps, you'll get really white, it'll get incredibly porous, it will absorb the toner when you do that later more, so that you'll have bands of purple or silver or white, and it just won't look the same. Your color will look patchy, or worst case scenario, those areas that you overlap can get over processed and you can get breakage. And that's when girls come in and they have those little sections of their hair where they've overlapped the bleach too many times, and now the hair in that section is an inch or too long, and you just can't fix that. And so you just want to make sure that you're being very, very careful to not overlap that bleach. And that's why it's great to have somebody do the back, because when you're trying to do it yourself, even if you can see it with mirrors, it's very difficult to control that product. Do keep in mind also that certain brands of bleach expand and swell as they process. So it's a great idea to maybe do a little research on the brand of bleach that you choose, because if it expands a lot while you're using it, you want to make sure that you really don't go right up to the blonde, that you leave a teeny tiny microscopic line between your natural hair and the blonde, because that bleach is going to expand and cover that line as it processes. I typically will apply everything being very, very careful, and then once it's all applied, I will go back through. You'll already see your hair processing, and you can see any little dark spots where maybe the bleach has not expanded to. I will show you this when we get to actually applying the bleach a little bit later. Okay, so now we're going to add the bleach into the bowl that's already on the scale. I use approximately 25 grams when I'm doing my roots, so we're just weighing that out. Then we'll get our 20 volume developer, and we'll do around 25 grams of that, because we are going to do half 20 and half 30 volume. Now 25 grams of the 30 volume developer. Squeeze, squeeze, get it as close as possible. And then I take the plastic whisk and I whisk it around. You want to try and fold it or stir it rather slowly. You don't want to whip it too much. That can create too much air bubbles and make the bleach expand really quickly for you. Now I'm just going to section the hair into 4 quadrants, 2 at the front. Then I'm going to section straight down the center back of my head and section out 2 at the back, making sure all the hair is nice and combed as I go and everything is clipped securely. So Shana's going to start with one section, make sure it's nice and combed out. She's going to take the bleach and tap it on the exposed root. Take a thin section that you can see through. The section should always be thin enough for you to see through when you lift it up. She's going to tap the bleach on the root, and then when she flips the hair over, she will tap it on the underside of that piece as well to make sure it's fully saturated all the way through so you don't get any patchiness. Okay, so now the back is done. I am going to get a little bleach on my brush and tap it on my part line, both sides, not overloading my brush and using too much bleach. You don't want to pile it on because, like, remember I said, guys, it is going to expand, so you want to saturate it fully, but just as much as you need. Tapping on the root, nice thin sections that you can see through, and then tapping on the underside again when you lift that piece up, making sure you get all those little fine hairs around your face, but again, don't pile it on, just enough to cover it. Make sure it's all nice and saturated and moist with bleach. Don't leave any areas completely dry, but try not to be sloppy and only get the areas of new growth that you need to get. All of the roots are done now, so I'm going to put it with a clip in a nice loose ponytail. I'm going to get a nice big piece of plastic wrap, cover the whole front of my head, my whole hairline, get another piece and wrap it around the front to secure, and another one from the back towards the front to secure. I'm also going to put a couple clips because I'm going to be walking around. Once it's processed and you think it's ready to go, check out that bleach. If you're going for a nice icy cool, it should be really, really pale yellow, like the inside of a banana. We're good to go. Mixing up the toner, I am doing a level 9 ash pearl toner. So that's going to have tones of purple and blue because I am going for a silvery icy blonde. I've gone down to a level 9 so that I get that really silvery gray look to my hair. If I kept it at a level 10, it would be a lot brighter, but it wouldn't quite have as much silver. And I'm mixing that with a 10 volume developer because we are just depositing the toner on top of the hair. We are not lifting it all. And then we mix until it is fully incorporated and nice and smooth. Brush out the hair. I've conditioned and washed out the bleach, so my hair is not tangly at all, and it is towel dried thoroughly. Get all those knots out before you start to apply the toner. And then you apply the toner. I start with the new growth first and not my old toned ends. I also leave out the areas around my face until the very, very end when I am finished. Make sure when you're applying the bleach from your midsections to your ends that you really work it through. You do small sections and work that bleach through so your hair is fully saturated. That way your toner won't be patchy at all. Just checking all the edges, make sure I didn't leave any areas out. The toner should go purple in this case. Here we are rinsing it out. You can see that all that purple washes away. I do not, in fact, have purple hair. Nice and icy. And here we go, guys, the big reveal. Super icy, silvery blonde. I'm going to spray in a blow-dry conditioning spray. It's got heat protection and some smoothing leave-in properties. I'm just going to rough it up. There we go, guys. All done. Nice and toned, icy blonde, just how I like it. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned a lot about how to bleach your roots. I will be posting another video after this that goes more into depth on toning your hair. So if you felt like this video kind of skimmed over it, that's why. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss that next video, so that you can get all the information that you need about how to choose which toner to achieve the shade of blonde that you're wanting to have. Leave some comments in below and let me know if you have any questions, anything else that I can address in any upcoming videos, or I can address some questions in the comment section. And thanks so much for being here with me today, guys, on DIY Hair School.